Hello, my absolutely beautiful Leo friends, and welcome to your horoscope for August of 2023. And let's just say it, happy birthday, beautiful Leo friends. This is your season. I am really excited to be experiencing the Leo season with you, welcoming in your annual new moon that comes in your sign and is your opportunity to have your fresh start, plant your seeds of intention, to formulate the goals that you want moving forward, and then to get out of the way, let the universe do the heavy lifting while you just do the footwork to watch these things unfold with that beautiful fire, that beautiful generosity that is your energy. Now, this month, Leo, we have got 3 lunar events that are actually happening this month, so that needs to cue you into the fact that this is going to be an emotional month. There are things emotionally to be seen that just need to be adjusted or need to have a revelation or have a revealing to them. So don't hear what I'm not saying. No need to freak out. Emotions are okay. Feeling is healing, right? And we're going to definitely be experiencing some of that this month. Now, we've also got Mercury turning retrograde in the energy of Virgo and Uranus taking its retrograde in the energy of Taurus. So plenty going on, Leo friends. So let's get in here and see what is on the agenda. Right at the beginning of the month, Leo, on the 1st, we have got a beautiful full moon happening at 9 degrees of Aquarius. Now, this is going to light up your 7th house space, so right across the street from you, okay? This is all things having to do with relationships. Now, don't just think romantic relationships. I'm talking conscious, chosen, one-on-one relationships in your life. So whatever needs to have this revelation or this ending, acknowledgement or adjustment to it in the 7th house, this is the time where you're going to have those epiphanies and those openings over this next 4 weeks to handle this. So locate 9 degrees on your chart, okay? 9 degrees of Aquarius. So if you've got planets, points, or angles at 9 degrees or around 9 degrees, you know that this planet is also going to be putting a little spin on your personal story, okay? Now, in general, at this lunation, because we're having this awakening, and then we have this lunation or this moon also in a square to Jupiter, which is our expansion planet, but it's also in the energy of Taurus. Something that you're awakening to in your relationships is the true value of them and the true value that you serve in your relationships as well. Because this moon hits us and we work at the emotional level, it's really this space where, you have to start telling the truth. It's going to be revealed to you where you can't just go along for the ride here, right? You can't just say, yes, I'm just one of in this relationship. You're going to have to look at, is my play, is my laughter, is my heart, is my desire to, have my fire and have a little bit of my own independence while I am also a part of the group being fulfilled here. So it's a really interesting energy where we look at the concept of individualism in terms of interdependence, okay? And do you feel like this portion of your life is being fulfilled here? So I wouldn't be surprised if relationships that have been on the rocks and have too many cracks in the cement don't begin to fall off, and or it is so illuminated to you and it's like an awakening that is almost refreshing, where you see what you need to do to move those relationships forward. On the 3rd, we see Mercury stepping into its pre-retrograde shadow energy at 8 degrees of Virgo. So right here on the 3rd, Leo, I want you to start paying attention to your chart at 8 degrees of Virgo to 21 degrees of Virgo, because this is where we're going to work this Mercury retrograde cycle. But what's happening on the 3rd is Mercury slowing down, passing over this 8 degrees and saying, okay, here's the lessons that I'm going to start to bring to your attention. So just take note. Just take notice of what is coming up for you, especially around themes, Leo, of your money, your finances, your value, your self-esteem, things in relationships. These are the areas to focus your attention. More on that in just a minute. But on the 16th, we've got a new moon happening at 23 degrees of your beautiful Leo sign. So this is the once a year opportunity to plant your seeds of intention, to begin something new, to have a new perspective, to give you, Leo, a fresh start. And where have you needed to do this? I want you to look back at your life just since last year, okay? Just 1 year, birthday to birthday time. And where are you ready to be at the front of your own lion pride? right? Really give yourself that fresh, unique, I am standing up front with my shoulders back and my chest up and my head high, new, revised kind of energy. Where are you ready to put yourself out into the world like that lion who's standing beautifully tall? Where are you ready to welcome in romance, job opportunities, fresh perspectives in relationships, right? This is huge. We just had a full moon happening over there. Leo, I think this is also your once a year check-in time to ask yourself very seriously, where do I need to take myself less serious and play and laugh and enjoy and experience my Leo sun? You've got this big, beautiful chart that's got a lot going on in it, right? But where are you giving yourself a chance to experience, concentrate, and really live out your sun qualities? This is the chance to take advantage of that lovely, lovely energy. Now, this lunation is also in a square to Uranus, so I will tell you the things that are stopping you from being that big, beautiful Leo, whether they be relationships, whether they be old stories of your thinking, right? How many times, Leo, have you said, well, I'm just like this, or I know myself, or I know this, and it's not actually very open-minded. You are keeping yourself in a box of old ideas. And what if Uranus coming in, bringing a surprise, shows you that the adventure is so much more than you were giving yourself credit for. The adventure, you are so much more than that old story gave you permission to expand out to experience. So whatever it is, Uranus will come in that square and ask you to innovate, change directions, or bring some kind of surprise in your life. And I almost want to just tell you, whatever the surprise is, two things will happen. One, it'll show you if you're grounded enough to be okay, be emotionally okay, no matter what happens, right? Whether the surprise is something you like, whether the surprise is something you don't like. And two, it will be a course correction or change of direction in your world. On the 23rd, a bit of a busy day. We've got the sun entering into Virgo. Leo season is over. Although I know, my beautiful Leo friends, from experience, you will probably be celebrating your birthday through most of Virgo season as well. And I really respect you for that, okay? But we do have the sun move into the energy of Virgo, lighting up your second house space, bringing light, heat, life, and vitality. So bringing your absolute discernment and attention to details, bringing your practicality to your finances and to your relationships. This is the time in the season, this is the time in the year to get organized. But you don't just sit down, gross Virgo energies, they're musty and they do work. It's not like that. This is the time where you sit down in that beautiful Virgo organized vibration, pop on your little Virgo spectacles, and take joy and take pride in developing skills that allow you to be organized and detail oriented. Because especially around your money or the things that you value or how you value and care for yourself, you want that to be the very best that it can be. And that is the realm of Virgo. Because when you let it be the very best that it can be, you are going to be being of service to this area of your life. And that is the cry of our Virgo friends. Make it the best and be of service. Getting organized can be sexy, I promise. All right, we've also got Mercury turning retrograde at 21 degrees of Virgo. So we are going to spend from now until October, really from now until the end of the retrograde cycle is actually September 30th, but I just like to say October because we usually need that extra date. But we are going to take this retrograde from 21 degrees to 8 degrees of your second house, okay? Now this is Mercury. It's the planet of communication, discernment, thinking, decision making, right? And so you're going to spend some time reviewing this financial area of your chart. You are going to spend some time reviewing contracts and agreements that you are connected to financially or that have a value base to you. And I do think, Leo, that for many of you, you may be reviewing these, I got quotes going, these quotation contracts that you're in that are also spiritual. Do you need to cut cords with people? places or institutions that have been attached to you in such a way that they've been sucking your energy. And when it's sucking your energy out, or it's like an energy leak, it doesn't help you to be financially set. Other areas that I think that this retrograde can really help you in is to make decisions that benefit you financially, because they show you places where you can grow your money, because your value has changed, your name has changed, your recognition has changed. So you will be reviewing your money, your worth, and your relationships until September 30th. On the 27th, we see Mars move into the energy of Libra, lighting up your third house space. So the third house is where we communicate, we make decisions, we are learning, we are teaching some things. You could be doing some short distance travel. Think state to state. We're not jumping oceans. This isn't big travel for you, okay? But it's also a place of siblings and contracts. So Mars moving into the energy of Libra, what you're looking for here is how you're going to get things done from now until the beginning of October. So think about this. How you do things, how you engage your relationships, how you go out into your review is governed by this Mars and Libra energy. So what you're going out to do now is looking for balance. What do you do and how do you do it? That brings this balance into your life. Mars is also a planet of strategy. So create strategies this month, beautiful Leos, that help create balance, that help find the justice, that are you listening. Mars in Libra doesn't really want to have any confrontation. It's like, no, I'm too pretty for that. Thank you. But there's a wonderful opportunity to listen to all sides of a situation, listen to all the information that is coming in around you, and then build a strategy with all of the information. Remember, the decision-making planet is in, first of all, Virgo, where it is in home court advantage because it lives in that sign. But being in Virgo will hear and help you discern the patterns of information and what needs to be a priority. That will inform Mars of what to do next. Beautiful use of that. All right, the 28th, we see Uranus turning retrograde in the energy of Taurus at 23 degrees. Now, we are going to follow this retrograde from 23 degrees to 19 degrees of Taurus. So if in your chart you have got Uranus, or you have got if you've got planets, or you've got points, or you've got angles or asteroids, whatever else you work with, if you have got them between 23 and 19 degrees, this is going to be a portion of your story. So also take the opportunity to flash back to May 12th of 2023 at that 19 degrees of Taurus, which is your career, Leos, top of your chart, tip top, right? We see you in public. It's your career, it's your reputation, it's your name that we call you in public. So, even if you're not working and we call you manager, do we call you wife? Do we call you husband? Do we call you mother? Do we call you community organizer? What is the name that people call you in public? Because there's been some moving to the next level here, right? Uranus is looking to make changes that allow you to be free. And because this is stepping in a retrograde, you can look back into May of this year and say, where did I start seeing where I wanted to be free, seeing where I was willing to make some changes, seeing where I started to rise and my name became a little bit more known, or I was feeling this shift to be more confident. It's like I kind of busted out from nowhere. And now there's this review of that. There's this challenging to that, to make sure that the way you live, you think, you move can continue to support the breakout that you've had, can continue to break out how you live more authentically. Some innovation that is coming to this very public area of your chart. Now, as we're going to close out this month, on the 30th, we've got our last lunar event, which is a full moon happening at 7 degrees, of Pisces energy. So for you, Leo, this is the 8th house realm. Now, when we're dealing with the 8th house, the first thing that comes to my mind, especially with a full moon on the agenda, is detox. What needs to be detoxed? Because a full moon is going to ask you to end something, acknowledge something, adjust something, or bring a culmination Something has come to its end or its fulfillment, especially in your emotional life, right? So when we're looking at this in this 8th house Pisces area, one of the things I would ask you to take a look at is, first of all, where do you need to detox your spiritual life, right? And it's like, that's kind of a big question. Stormie, if we all knew, right? But think about this. Where do you have those old ideas or those old beliefs that are even stopping you from having this deeper engagement with the universe that lets you know and lets you live in a way day to day that you feel like you can function effortlessly, that you feel like the world is a loose garment moving around you? And sometimes the tools that we have been using and applying in our lives as our spiritual toolkit, we find are no longer as efficient as they can be. They have taken us as far as we can go, and it is now time to bring them to culmination, and thus opening the door for identifying the next way that we can use the tools or new tools that need to come in. Now, on a more practical 8th house level, we're talking about death, debt, taxes, and intimacy. Intimacy means you see into me, or if you move, I have to move, right? So if you're connected to your debt, right? If something happens with your debt, it like pulls a little cord on you. If you are in therapy and you're talking about your healing or you're talking about your wound, as these things are touched on and they move, you move. If you are connected to a partner's financial resources or resources in some way, if they move, you move. So think about the 8th house a bit like that, okay? Intimacy and assets. So at the full moon, it's interesting. This particular moon makes me think, especially because it's in conjunction with Saturn, who is retrograde, that there is something in you looking to reach its critical point of maturity. And in order for that to happen, it's like you've been standing at this turning point or this crossroads, and you've really needed to decide which direction that you're going to go. And I don't think that the decision has been particularly easy or fast, or like you've just had all of the answers revealed to you. It's an inside job on this one. So to help you, let's look for some cue points. First of all, go back to March of this year when Saturn moved into the energy of Pisces, okay? Because Saturn started working from 0 degrees of Pisces to 7. And what Saturn did when it came into this Pisces area is, first of all, it said, hey, Leo, you got to stop talking about it and be about it. You've had this great idea, you have these ideals of how things should be, but now you have to be about it. You've got to connect to the resource and be about it. But that requires maybe that you make a decision that has been harder for you, or is just this like really mature decision that is, it doesn't matter so much how you feel. This is really about the discipline and the creation of what you do. Okay, so if that's ringing true for you, let me know in the comment section down below. What is it time for you to make a decision to really be about it? Is it the decision to get married, 8th house, join those resources, actually step into this deep commitment that we call marriage and be in it? Because that is a long-term gig, right? It's not meant to be short-term. Right? So what is it that is also very Saturnian for you, and you're feeling the weight of taking that responsibility on? Is it a loan to start your new business? Is it a collaboration that's finally going to put you out there? Is it detox? You got to go to detox. You got to go to rehab. You got to go to emotional detox. What is it for you, my beautiful Leos, that this full moon is giving you an opportunity to really engage what came up between March and June, that now you're ready to take some serious action on, because you can really see that the writing is on the wall and it's time to talk about it and not just be about it. All right, my beautiful friends, enjoy this second half of the birthday energy. I love you so much, and I look forward to seeing you, guiding you, and walking with you next month, Leo. Bye, beautiful.